Ethan's heart pounded with excitement as he carefully navigated the remote woodland trail. The sunlight filtered through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the ground. He had always been drawn to the outdoors, and as an amateur herpetologist, he loved studying the reptiles that lived in these woods. But today, something felt different. Little did he know this hike would lead him to a discovery that would change his life forever. As he rounded a bend, Ethan froze. There, basking in a patch of sunlight, lay a snake with something that made his heart race, a glittering diamond embedded in its head. Ethan couldn't believe his eyes. Could it be a rare genetic mutation, or was there something even more extraordinary at play? But he also knew he had to be careful. Approaching the snake could be dangerous. Thinking quickly, he rummaged through his backpack and assembled a makeshift trap using a long stick, string, and a plastic container. He slowly maneuvered the trap into position, holding his breath. To his surprise, the snake seemed calm, almost as if it were waiting for him. With a swift motion, Ethan triggered the trap, lifting the snake into the container. The diamond in its head sparkled even more brilliantly up close, glowing with an otherworldly light. Ethan stared at the diamond, amazed by its flawless beauty. He carefully removed it from the snake's head, marveling at the way it seemed to pulse with an inner light. He knew this was no ordinary find, but he also knew the snake didn't belong in captivity. With a heavy heart, he gently released it back into the wild, watching it disappear into the undergrowth, the diamond-studded head now a fading memory. With the diamond tucked away in his pocket, Ethan made his way back to civilization. His mind raced with the implications of his discovery. He needed to have the diamond appraised by a professional. But as he walked into the city, doubt crept in. What if the find wasn't as extraordinary as it seemed? At the jeweler's shop, Ethan felt out of place amid the luxurious decor. The jeweler, an experienced man with sharp eyes, looked up when Ethan approached. His gaze fell on the diamond and his expression changed from curiosity to shock. "Where did you get this?" he asked, his voice trembling. Ethan hesitated, then told him the story of how he'd found it. The jeweler examined the stone under a magnifying glass, his face pale. "This isn't just a rare diamond," he said, his voice almost reverent. "It's a legend. There are rumors of a species of snake that's born with a diamond embedded in its head. But to find one, let alone capture it, this is unheard of." Ethan's heart sank as he realized what he had stumbled upon. The diamond was worth far more than he could imagine. But at the same time, he felt a deep sense of pride. He had made the right choice by letting the snake go free. "I had to release it," he said quietly. "It didn't belong in a cage." The jeweler nodded slowly, admiration in his eyes. "You're a rare breed, Mr. Ethan. Not many would have done what you did. But the diamond, it's yours now, and it's going to change your life in ways you can't even imagine." Ethan left the jeweler's shop that day with more money than he'd ever dreamed of. But it wasn't just the money that changed him. In the weeks that followed, he found himself thrust into a world of wealth and influence, surrounded by collectors and connoisseurs eager to own the legendary diamond. But through it all, Ethan stayed grounded. He used his newfound wealth to fund conservation efforts for the wild places he loved. Sometimes, late at night, he would think back to that fateful day in the woods. The diamond had brought him fame and fortune, but it was the snake that had taught him the true meaning of value, the importance of respecting nature. As he looked out over the vast forest, he smiled, knowing he had been a part of something magical. And though the adventure had begun with a single, impossible stone, he knew the journey was far from over.